Hey Guys, Is This Anything is a comedy podcast that slams bits, sparks, and improv together like particles in the Large Hadron Collider. This show may contain strong language and mature themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Kez.
I'm Dinghy.
What if the bit was the friends we made along the way? Is that anything?
Could be.
Hey guys, welcome to It could be, huh? It could be?
It could be.
It could be? Well, hey guys. Welcome to Hey Guys, Is This Anything? It is a comedy podcast where we just kind of figure it out on the fly. It's really cool, really fun. Here with my best bud, Dinghy. Dinghy, what you got going on?
I'm just excited to be here tonight. Great day, great tour, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually so stoked about the last episode. I think that one, I didn't know how we could recover from the glory that was episode 2. I think we got something for episode 3, so go listen to that if you haven't already.
Absolutely.
We did record episode 3 on July 13th, and I just thought it would be a little inappropriate if we didn't at least mention what happened on that day.
While we were recording the podcast.
Of course, it was National Delaware Day, and I just feel like we need to address that because, of course, Delaware, being the first state to be granted statehood and join the Union, is quite important to this country. So to all of our listeners from Delaware, living in Delaware, or just big Delaware heads, this one's for you. So that's all. That's all I wanted to bring up.
That is 100% what I was thinking too, man.
Yeah, July 13th, big day, huge, honestly, world-changing,
historical day,
Delaware Day. So next year it'll be in the calendar, and I will not miss.
Sick. That's real cool, man. I'm so glad that you remembered that. I'm sure that there were hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Americans who were absolutely up in arms about, the situation of us forgetting National Delaware Day.
Yeah, and I mean, for sure, up in arms, definitely.
Yeah, for real. It's crazy that it's called National Delaware Day.
It is. No, genuinely,
it is truly.
There's
it is one state.
Yeah, there is something that I look at quite a bit at work with my coworker. Shout out Jonathan. You'll never listen to this because you don't know about me. There's something called the National Day Calendar, which kind of ties into one of my topics that we could potentially talk about, which is me wasting time at work. But I do frequent the National Day Calendar because most of them are just businesses that are like, hey, we're declaring today National whatever day, 7-Eleven Slurpee Day. That one makes sense, though, because of the numbers.
Yeah.
But then there's some that's just like...
Never forget 7-Eleven.
I like this one, National Skilled Trades Day. It's the first Wednesday in May. It's a good one.
Okay, cool.
For all of our tradies out there. But yeah, it's... I gotta send you a screenshot of this because it always makes me laugh.
Yeah, no, I'd love for you to send me that. And I definitely do want to talk about, things you can do to waste time at work, because I do think I am somebody who has mastered the art. What is this? National Day Calendar Founder Family Sneak Peek.
Yeah, National Delaware Day, July 13th.
Created in 2017 by National Day Calendar.
Mm-hmm. It's all brand.
I definitely could see the legal merit of them.
Because there's a little link in the top right corner of this website called Register a National Day.
Oh, no.
Do we need a Kez and Dinghy Day?
Okay. I think you're onto something here. Okay. Now, do we call it Kez and Dinghy Day?
Or Hey Guys
what
Day?
Day is it? We could call it Hey Guys Day. There's so many. I have a lot of ideas. Okay.
We'll have to circle back on this one, I think.
Yeah.
Because this is huge for us.
Yeah.
So many people are going to listen to our podcast because of this day. On our day, you have to listen to every single episode in the podcast.
which is fine for right now. When
Right
it
now,
equates
easy.
to like 4 or 5 hours of content.
Yeah,
It's gonna become a real issue.
once we're over 24 episodes in, it's gonna become difficult.
Okay, that's when you utilize the tools that have been given to us. You speed up the episodes by like 50%.
Yeah, hit that 2x button.
Exactly.
Easy.
You see how many episodes you can power through. And then every year on Hey Guys, Is This Anything Day, we will credit the person who listens to the most of our podcast in a 24-hour period, like a $20 Olive Garden gift card.
Yeah. No more, no less.
We're not made of money.
No, absolutely not. I mean, especially after those cameos from episode 2. Speaking of episodes, this is episode 4/5.
I'm never gonna fucking understand why we did that, dude. That was one of
episode 0.
and that's
The pilot
my fault.
episode. It is actually.
I was
You didn't.
the one that titled it.
We could have just named it pilot, or it just not had a number, like a numbering scheme. But
That's true.
here we are.
I guess we have 2 options. We can either play this horrific game of naming 2 numbers every episode and having people be confused as to why we're doing that, or we can just say that episode 0 never happened and say what number this episode actually is. But I think it's funnier to
I think it's funnier to make it inconvenient and kind of shitty to be like, well,
I agree.
Actually, technically it's episode 5, but it's called episode 4.
We're gonna make the fan base insufferable on purpose.
Yeah, well, to match our sort of whole vibe.
Okay, yeah, no, that rules. I'm with you on that. Okay. But yeah, do you want to, let's go ahead and talk about ways that we could waste time at work. I think that's actually super cool and fun.
Sorry, I'm so caught up on the little beep that I heard.
You heard a beep?
It sounded like in movies when they're like marker and they do the clap sync thing, the little clapper.
Uh-huh.
And it was like boop, this little boop. Like a
I
little
bet
movie
you
beep.
it was the bird.
It didn't sound like a bird. Anyway.
I don't know what to, so now I'm
if
curious.
it's not,
1 second.
if it's not in your recording, I'm going to sound like an insane person. It was so
I'm
short.
looking at the waveform. I don't know, dude.
All right. Maybe that was on my end. I don't have anything running.
We'll
though.
see. One of us is crazy, and post-editing Kez will let you know which one of us it was.
Okay, choice. Post editing Kez, can you just jump in here real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. There was no noise. I can promise you that. Okay, bye.
Wow,
All right,
that
thanks.
was very
Thanks, buddy.
helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Future
Yep, no
me.
problem. Okay, bye.
Anyway, do you actually want to get into a topic this time?
Yeah, I would love to discuss, ways to waste time at work. I think that is super cool and actually just so topical with everything going on right now. We of course have the CrowdStrike outages nationwide, worldwide. So now the question remains: those who were affected, who weren't overwhelmed with customers, like what are they doing with their day?
Well, here's
so
what
let's
I
give
do.
them some ideas.
Yeah, here's what I do when I waste time at work. Typing tests. I try to see how fast I can go with minimal mistakes. And honestly, the site that I use is typings.gg, which is just kind of fun to type out generally, but also it lets you bring it down to like 10 words. Just 10 little words. Blast through those
what's
real
it
quick.
called?
Typings.gg. So actually,
Okay,
this would be fun.
typings.gg.
How fast? What's your little burst type rate? Change it to 10.
Set
And
it
just
to
see
10?
how accurate you can get it. Yeah. I'll do mine too.
118 with 100% accuracy.
Shit, I messed up. Hold on.
And to show I'm being honest, I'm gonna put a screenshot in the Discord. I type very fast.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that you could type that fast.
Yeah, they call me they call me Regis Philbin.
Okay, yeah.
They call me that because I have the fastest fingers, and that joke is only gonna be funny for anyone who's over the age of 30.
And that being said, I don't understand it.
Anyway, yeah, 118. You have 106. Like once you hit 100, there's no difference.
I guess so. should I learn how to do stenography? You know the
One
steno
of my
keyboards, like
friends-
the live,
yeah,
the CC stuff, and like in courtrooms and shit.
yeah, one of my friends started learning stenography, and I'm just like, I could not even fathom. Like, I can barely remember how to type normally.
Yeah, okay, 118 words a minute, sure.
I'm
Ooh, I'm so bad at typing. You know that? Hold on, what's the average? What's the average rate?
just saying that when I'm good at typing, I'm great at typing. But the moment it slips, it's pretty rough.
Oh, you do that thing where like you just start fumbling the whole way. It's like you tripped,
mess
and so
up
you just
once.
stumble your way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Average
Hey,
words
you know
per
what's
minute.
insane? The average typing test speed is between 38 and 40 words per minute.
That's not real.
I don't, for some reason,
Well-
I can't get my brain around that.
I could see it in the sense that I think we've all worked with somebody that you watch do the hunt and peck, or just generally the brain to finger motor function just isn't as fast. And in fairness, we did grow up on the internet. We grew up using computers. So I think for us, it's a little more just in us to be able to be good at it. But I think for those people who maybe didn't grow up using the internet, maybe, but I think that statistic has to be, well, everyone's on all those kids are on their phone.
You're typing on that damn smartphone.
They won't put their iPhone down and die.
Okay, yeah. What about I'm going back to wasting time at work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Something else that I do a lot when
Uh-huh.
I don't want to, kids these days, don't want to work. When I don't want to work, I will go to the bathroom and I will sit there on my phone for extended periods of time. And at my work, there is like the general bathroom that has like a stall in it and some urinals, because there's mostly men that work at our company. But there's the nice bathroom, which for several people, myself included, is dubbed the office. Because if you for some reason can't find, myself or like one of the guys in the machine shop or my manager, it's usually because they're in their quote office, which is the little bathroom that's just like a room. And there's also a shower in there, but nobody uses that because it's full of spiders. So I'll go in there and I'll blow like a good, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes just sitting on the toilet.
That's so
usually
real.
on my phone.
I can say, having worked in many positions throughout my life, I've learned a few ways to be able to kill some time and have some personal downtime during the workday. In my adventures of being a remote employee, there would often be really beautiful moments where I would either like lose power or my internet would go out, which was a glorious time because then I could do whatever
nothing
I
you
wanted.
can do.
Yeah, nobody would know the wiser. Was there certain times when I accidentally, kicked the Ethernet cord to my router on my way back to my desk? Absolutely. And so
Big accident.
I like to do floor time is my favorite activity.
Okay,
It's
what does that involve?
It's when somehow the internet goes out, and then therefore my Teams just shows I'm not there, and then I text whoever my supervisor is, and I'm like, my internet went out, and then I just lay on the floor for half an hour.
Is that what you did to me last weekend when your quote unquote power went out and you couldn't you couldn't edit or upload the pod?
Oh, when a tornado warning hit Tucson, Arizona after having a tornado the week before, which
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
never heard of tornadoes in this state. That was wild. But yeah,
This bit
I was
goes
lying.
It goes all the way to the top, all the way to the Weather Channel.
It required me to get thousands of people to lose power. Tens of thousands of people, 30,000 people lost power last Saturday.
I'm telling you, it's a top-down sort of affair. It starts at the
really
top.
is.
And it's Reaganomics, but for a bit. It's Reaganomics for jokes.
It's trickle-down bits.
Trickle-down bits. Well, there's the title of the podcast.
Oh, that rules. Oh, that rules. Oh, shit. Yeah, no. That's usually what I would do. I think also, I guess that's not killing time if I'm like listening to a podcast or listening to music while I work. But there are times when I'll be listening to like a podcast and I'll laugh for 5 minutes straight just because something incredibly funny was said. So I guess that's wasting time.
I feel like wasting time is a lot more malicious though. It's like I go to work and I'm like, yeah, I go to work and then some days I'm like, today I'm just not feeling it. So I'll just kind of actively not do my job.
You should be allowed. So you know how some companies will have like mental health days where you can use sick leave to, take a mental health day. They should have days where you're essentially, it's like a running on fumes day. You show up and you're there if somebody has like a question or needs to communicate with you. But in terms of doing actual work, you're kind of just like absolved of that responsibility for the day. It's like, I'm just on call.
So what you're describing is like every time like it's the day before I leave for a work trip, I just shut down. I just don't do anything because I'm like, well, I'm gonna be traveling the next day.
Yeah, so you don't want to start anything new.
I want to start a new project. I don't want to, maybe I'll wrap something up that I've been working on. But like if it's more than that, if it's more than that, it's like, no, I'll just forward these emails to my coworker and make it his problem because I have to go travel.
God, we are the same. Incredible.
It is incredible.
Yeah, no, that's great. I did want to. We did have a discussion at the end of last episode where you had mentioned an "Is this anything?" and I kind of wanted to sidestep the rules a little bit, if you recall. Which is unheard of, never before seen. I know. I'm breaking precedent here, and I realize the ramifications for that. And
a real disruptor.
Yeah, I'm truly a disruptor in the space. Hey, sharks. Hey.
Hi, sharks.
Hi, sharks. Hi, sharks. My name is Kez, and in exchange sharks, in exchange for all of my company, I'm asking for $5. And what's the product, you ask? It is knob for you. Dude, you spelled it so fucking...
I see that right now. Yeah, I see that now.
I didn't see it until
also, let's literally not... It was Pop Pocket. Like Pop Socket, but for your pants.
Knob for you pants. Pop Pocket.
Yeah, you know what sucks? I wrote that literally right after the podcast last week. And it never occurred to me that it was spelled wrong.
I'm so upset that I didn't read the whole thing before this very moment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
really threw it away. Hold on, I'll be Mark Cuban.
Yeah, you're gonna be Mark. Okay. Hey, sharks.
I'm out.
Knob for you.
I think isn't Mark Cuban actually like a pretty good guy? I thought he did something good recently.
I think his good has outweighed his bad as much as a billionaire can.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. I do want to give you. Are you willing to accept a note there for your role as Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Can I give you a note?
Is he from Cuba? The picture that I'm looking at of Mark Cuban is kind of tough also. It looks like...
he just has this look of I have so much money, I don't need to care about shit.
He looks half asleep in the picture I sent you. And by half, I mean the left side of his face is kind of pretty asleep.
He looks like he had
a stroke. Has he had a stroke? Is this mean? Am I being mean to Mark Cuban?
I think he has billions of dollars. We could be mean to him. He looks like somebody who's fighting an Ambien battle and losing.
Yeah.
Anywho, your note that I want to give you on your role as Mark Cuban, I think you did a good job overall. I think you captured the tone very well. I don't think it was in the spirit of Mark, however. I think he would be willing to jump at the chance at buying 100% of a company for $5, no matter what the company is.
That's a fair point. Like, that's $5 is kind of funny money at that point, especially to a Mark Cuban.
Yeah, because then he can just be like, I'll buy it and then just dissolve the company immediately because your idea is so bad. Anywho, the whole reason we're bringing this up, Sharks, is Knob for You Pants Pop Pocket. Which I'm thinking now, I kind of want to name the episode Knob for You Pants Pop Pocket. Because it's so funny.
So unlike last podcast episode where we didn't have anything for the title, we have quite a few options this time.
We do. So what I was thinking, and the whole reason that we've gotten to this point of discussing it, is my only thought I had last episode was, does your pant pocket catch on doorknobs when you have the pop pocket attached?
Oh, that's a good question.
Does it double up? Like you've done that where you walk
it's
through
the
a door
most
and
frustrating
you catch the
thing
hand?
that anyone can ever experience, because it's like
Exactly.
you're being like violently pulled backwards, but it's a fucking knob. Why? Hey Kez,
Hey,
now I'm mad. I'm pissed. Why are we making knobs like that? Why is it a little, like, if you look, it's sticking out, and if you were to look at the like silhouette of it, it's a T shape. So it's like perfect for just like slipping into your fucking pocket or your belt loop. And then like usually going back to belt loop blah, it'll either like damage your pants if you're at like a high enough clip, or you rip the damn thing out of the drawer.
True.
Why? What's
the deal with that?
What's the deal with these knobs?
Hey.
What's a better design for a knob? I think something round. A handle. Why don't we just put fucking handles on everything?
I would argue that the handles would pose a similar issue depending on the shape that we construct them in.
What if if you just had like a round tapered handle? Actually, I can see a great example of a handle straight from my desk here. Let me send you a very zoomed in photo of my microwave.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Because it's like, it's round at the edges, but like you can still get your hand in there and easily pull it out, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And that way, if you brush up against it, you just slide right off. What if I grease my knobs?
Grease your knob is the most innuendo thing I think you've ever said on this show, and that's fucking wild.
And I forgot this show is the show for kids. So.
You know, I think everyone should grease their knobs. Oh, you're talking like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Not vertically, though. That'd be...
concave.
Although, convex. But I do
convex,
think...
Convex, fuck off.
Thinking about just like, instead of putting a handle horizontally like you would assume on a drawer because of just the way like the aspect ratio of a drawer generally works out, if you just put it vertically, then you could still brush up against it, and then it wouldn't really matter what kind of handle it is. It could be one with sharp edges that could feasibly get caught on you, but if it's vertical, that's way more ergonomic too. Then you don't have to like twist your wrist to grab the handle and pull it out. You could just reach down, sort of like you're shaking someone's hand, and you just grip. Imagine how hard you could pull open a drawer. You could like absolutely just like grab and tear that shit out of the wall. I'm so here for this. I'm going to go through my apartment and put handles, vertical handles on all of my drawers, and then I'm going to not get my security deposit back.
Your fucking shit is going to be so rock. May I offer, if you will, an alternative to what you're proposing here that I think could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm thinking rather than worrying about the handles, the knobs, whatever you'd like to call the appendages that adorn these doors.
Yeah.
I'm for full-on abolishment of the doors entirely.
Oh.
No more doors. I think they cause...
I agree with you because I hate doors. What is a door but a wall that can move, you know? That's
correct.
What I always say.
We have always said that. Every single episode
start,
we have said,
we look each other in the eyes,
but a moving wall.
Yeah, exactly. And then what's a window but a see-through wall, you know?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I like this idea. I don't know how that would work for a drawer, because fundamentally the front part of the drawer is kind of a major part of the whole it being a drawer sort of situation.
Yeah. No,
It would just be cubbies. Do you want cubbies? You could just have a bunch of cubbies, I guess.
Okay. Do you remember in school when there were cubbies and everyone was so excited to have their cubby?
I have my cubby top left. Easy to find.
When did we lose that spark?
Actually, yeah, I think it's when we started realizing that we'd like to have at least a little bit of privacy. Because if, because like in high school, drugs mostly, in high school, locker was a door, in middle school, lockers, doors. You can't see through that shit. There's no windows there. Transparent lockers would be kind of sick though. But, and then in that, you could put your notebooks, you could put your embarrassing tchotchkes, you could put your little dime bag of weed that you bought from the kid, like right outside the gym. That turns
out to just be some random like thyme or
oregano. Fully just some spices. And who knows, maybe you're just really into cooking and they genuinely just were spices and the police were called for no reason. For instance, and this is so out of pocket, and oh my God, thinking about it now really kind of makes this, I don't condone this, what I'm about to tell you, but I did do it when I was in middle school because I was a little piece of shit that I didn't understand that like the world is not all sunshine and rainbows. I had an ammo box. A 7.62 NATO sized ammo box that I used as my lunchbox for a little while. And
That's
then
wild.
Rightfully so, the student resources officer took it from me because she was like, it could literally be anything in there. Like then the fact that it is an ammo container for like guns, it's not a good look. And I was like, this is so unjust. I have a sandwich in here. That just smelled like gas on the inside. Like it's not like it was even a good lunchbox, but I had it because I thought it was cool. And I agree. I don't think I was trying to be edgy or anything. I just bought it and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is back when like I was like, go Army, cue the Army strong theme song. Yeah. I think back a lot of us went through that phase. Yeah, when it was like, wow, the Army is so cool, and absolutely there's nothing wrong that can ever come out of the military. Both my parents were in
the military. It
took me around the world. More than anyone. Of course
I wanted to be in the military when I was a kid. I wanted to do all the things, and now I'm just like, yep, I have a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rules though. I'm so sad that they took your lunch. Did you get the lunchbox back at least?
I did at the end of the day, and then the student resource officer was like, hey, don't bring this back or I will take it from you permanently. And I was like, oh, this is bullshit. And of course, like I go home and I explained this whole situation to my mom, and she's like, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't bring it back. And I was like, oh, Mom, I thought you were supposed to be on my side. In hindsight, this sucks. I hate this part.
In hindsight, it's wild that your parents let you take it in the first place.
Well, they're the ones that bought it for me because I wanted it.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
I'm sure they're like, oh, I don't know. But I'm also sure that they're like, well, you're going to learn today.
I mean, that's super fair, too.
That's tough. Middle school me was probably the worst human being I've ever witnessed and experienced.
I will say boys can be a lot of trouble, and I actually think that's a great point that we can pivot. I did to ask you a question earlier over Telegram, and I said, hey, have you seen the show The Boys? And you said...
I said no.
You haven't.
Do you want me to say exactly what I said?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Well, that kind of fucks up the whole flow of this podcast because I'm going to find it. Oh my God, I forgot about the Sonic Mario gif. I said, I've heard the name when you asked me if I've watched The Boys.
You've heard the BAME. You fucked up majorly.
Right. For sure.
You edited it to say name. I just want that to be clear for everyone listening.
I did do that.
Because I discovered something that I don't think I'm supposed to have, but I think season 4 just wrapped for The Boys.
Oh, so this is an ongoing show.
Yeah. So season 4 just wrapped. I heard great things about it, but I was taking a walk the other day, assessing the damage from the wild storm we had last week, and a guy in a
Yeah.
trench coat comes up to me and he says, "Are you Kez from Hey Guys, Is This Anything?" And I said, "That's wild that you know what I look like, but yeah, that's me." And he comes up close and he opens his trench coat and he hands me some papers and says, "You need to open this and read it on your next podcast." And I'm like, "That's wild. Okay, I trust you with my life." If
You said
would,
that?
I said that to the trench coat guy. Yeah,
You said that to a complete stranger. I trust you with my life.
I did. I felt something in me that just could trust this man. If you don't
Okay.
mind, there's a document called Dinghy Do Not Read.
Yeah. Can I read it now?
Can you open it?
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it open.
So I was handed.
Can I tell
Wait,
you? I'm already so stoked on this.
Sorry, 1 second. I had to fix. It's actually the League season 5 premiere. I don't know why it said season 4. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But I was handed.
Season 4 already came out.
I was handed the script for the new season that apparently they've already shot and everything. And I think it's
Wild.
my responsibility, our responsibility, if you will, to present this to the world as is written right now, because who knows what they're going to change when the season premiere happens,
Yeah,
whenever it
for
happens.
sure. Well, they might cut some stuff.
They might. I really want to do this for posterity and seeing what stays into the season 5 premiere.
For preservation. Mostly.
Exactly. I want to make sure that the culture is intact. So I figure there's 2 characters in this this scene that we're going to read out.
I see that.
One is John Mann, who I ask you humbly to play.
Okay, I'm John Mann.
You're going to be John Mann.
Great choice. Really good maneuver.
And I'm going to be Frank Guy, who is...
Because it sounds kind of, and I don't want to just, I haven't seen the show, so who am I to say? But it sounds like you maybe made these names up. Maybe did you change the names for like legal reasons? Are you protecting the identities of the characters in the show?
I'm actually really upset that you would insinuate that.
Are these the actual names of characters in the show?
This is, as far as I am aware, as somebody who has never seen the show and knows nothing about it.
Okay, great.
I was
I'm
handed
really
the
good.
script, Diggy. I was handed the script, and
You
I
were handed
trust
the
that it
script.
is authentic to the source material, okay?
Yeah.
So you will play John Mann. I will play Frank Guy. I will provide the narrations.
Okay, hold on. Is that John?
Yeah.
Is that first thing there? Is that just a description of my character?
It's a description. The only time there's the dialogue is with the names.
Oh, and it's in the center, sort of. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Let me just get into this character real quick.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Mann, a 7'5" Goliath of a man, enters the command center. Okay. The central communication hub for the boys. All right, great. And Frank Guy, his second in command, looks up from his terminal and waves. Okay, cool. Let me get into this character real quick.
Yeah.
7'5", Goliath of a man. He's probably got it's like a real Gallagher sort of situation. Real
Really?
deep boy, real
That's
Andre
kind of
the
what
Giant.
I was envisioning when I was reading this character.
Okay, so his voice sort of like this. Is this guy an American?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen this show. I think that was
Right.
a very interesting interpretation.
I kind of hit it with a sort of Eastern Europe generalization. I don't think I should do that. It might be a little offensive.
I think you should do what your heart tells you. I
Okay.
think
I'll get something in my brain, but I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Let me channel John Mann. Let me channel John Mann real quick. Okay, great. I'm in it now. I know
Okay.
exactly what he's supposed to be like.
so. I'll set the narration again, just to keep everyone fresh. All right, everyone, marker. Everyone, places. You good? You ready? Okay. Yep. John Mann, 7'5" Goliath of a man, enters the command center.
the central communications hub for the boys. Frank Guy, his second in command, looks up from his terminal and waves. And I just want to note real quick, the setting is the boys' headquarters, and it is evening.
Right.
John,
Pitiful.
it's good to see you. We, the boys, have a ton of work to do. We've been put on a red alert.
Talk to me, Frank. Boy to boy. We're all boys here. What's going on?
Frank wipes his brow, visibly sweating more than is acceptable for an 8'2" hunk of a man. John, it's us. They're not calling us the boys anymore. They're saying we're too old, too tall, too ripped and gorgeous. They're calling us the men now.
God damn it. It's happening.
John walks over to the terminal Frank is using, taking note of the multitude of articles scattered along the monitor. Every major news outlet is talking about how calling this group of hunky, beefy men the boys doesn't suit them anymore.
Is there anyone left?
There aren't. The rest of the boys, John, they're grown up.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be damned. Frank! Initiate the Benjamin Button protocol.
John, we can't, not without authorization.
God damn it, Frank. Authorization from who? We're out of options. Hold on, John slams the cup of coffee that was in his hand this entire time onto the desk. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. There's actually coffee everywhere now. Christ.
Okay. Yeah. So the contents have partially spilled out and burned Frank's hand. Ah!
That's Frank? I was just making sure. That's Frank's pain
Frank.
sound.
Yeah, that was
Okay, hold on. Let's take it. Let's take it back from God damn it, Frank.
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it, Frank. Authorization from who? We're out of options. Slam. Oh, it's still me. We knew this day would come, Frank. The day the boys would be too old to be the boys. Well, you know what, Frank? I'm tired of it. I'm fed up with this liberal media narrative that boys can't be boys.
Frank looks upon John with fear, trembling at the sudden outrage. Of course, but John. Frank places a hand on John's, making direct eye contact. You know we can never go back, right? To all of this. We'll be boys forever. John has a stoic look upon his face. It is obvious that he's considered this already.
I know. I've made peace with that. Do you remember what you said to me all those years ago?
I do. I remember. Let's say it together.
We're gonna have to cut a little bit of this laughter. Let's take it from I do. I remember.
Yeah.
And marker.
Yep. I do. I remember. Let's say it together. The phrase that we both absolutely know by heart. 1, 2, 3. We're bros, we're dudes, we're guys just like you. We press,
we dance, we eat all our food.
John chuckles to himself, resting his weight on his arms to prop himself up on the desk.
I just want to be a boy forever, Frank. Why is that so much to ask?
It's not, John. We made a pact all the way back in season 1 that we would be the boys forever, and I meant it. John and Frank look down to the area below the terminal keyboard. There's a looming silence. I never thought I'd be scared, I think. I guess I was getting used to this life, to us becoming men.
It was never a life meant for us, Frank. They didn't call us the boys for the last 4 seasons just to have us throw the towel in now, did they?
John takes note of Frank's apprehensive silence and places a hand on his shoulder.
No, they didn't.
Frank hovers a hand over a button, looking to John with a look of assurance. John nods to him.
I love you, Frank. You're my boy.
You're my boy, John.
The two men embrace.
This voice gets so gritty.
The two men embrace, pressing the giant red button in front of the terminal. The Benjamin Button protocol is initiated. The sliding doors at the front of the room slam shut, with every light turning a deep red. A countdown begins as the two men continue to hold one another. 3, 2, 1. Smash cut to a close-up shot of both men's heads side by side. John and Frank are noticeably younger. Too young. End scene. Oh,
wow.
shit.
And that's episode 1?
That's episode 1 of season 5. I presume that's
the
according
entire
to...
episode? 4 pages?
Listen, I was handed this script. I had no hand in creating it. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, sorry.
Dude, I'm sweating. I might have to check this show out after doing that read with you. It sounds really engaging. Like, I feel like
I'm sold.
Just based on this plot point alone, I'm so excited to see how they got here.
Okay, so I did just Google The Boys.
Yeah.
I'll be real. It didn't occur to me that there was like superheroes in this movie.
There is?
Or a show. I guess so. I don't.
When I tell you I know nothing about okay.
Wait. Oh,
so,
no.
Here's the deal. I get the script. I'm like, this sounds fascinating. I Google The Boys.
Yeah.
I Google The Boys and I just see that it's a show. I know nothing other than that. It is incredible.
That's wild. This is a wild show. I can't wait for episode 2.
I think it's interesting how tall they are.
I saw a 7'5" Goliath of a man. And then I'll be real with you. I was a little taken aback when Frank Guy was described as an 8'2" hunk of a man.
Yeah, I mean, they
That's
don't call them
crazy.
John Mann and Frank Guy for nothing.
That is true. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That was
wow.
wild.
I think this was pretty well written, wouldn't you say?
I think it was really well written.
Yeah, I
think that we could, not to say that you wrote it, but I think if we did just perchance write it, we could sell this to Warner Bros. I think they would take it.
100%. Yeah. And
but we didn't write it. You didn't write this one.
No. I would never.
I definitely didn't write it because I didn't have access to this document until right now.
Yeah, no, I had to scan it in.
See that. Yeah, I see how it's a really clean scan, and it's kind of weird that you can highlight and edit the text so easily for a scan. This is a PDF.
I think that you should stop talking about it. If I'm being honest, I think you're asking too many questions, and I think we need to nod to that. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. That was your little leak.
Little sneak preview. Yeah,
I am a little bit concerned that whoever the production company, whoever the network is that puts on The Boys, is going to come after us.
Yeah.
But you and I have both shown that we care more about journalistic integrity than anything else.
Yeah, gentegrity is, as I like to call it.
Gentegrity. And that's what we're doing here. We're presenting information as written, as part of the culture. So thanks for listening to it. That was fun. Thank you for reading with me, Dinghy. That was
great,
very,
Taylor.
very
I
well
like
read.
that one a lot. I think I nailed the character.
I think you and having not seen The Boys, I'm sure that John Guy is exactly John Mann.
Big Russian guy.
I closed the script and immediately forgot whose last name is whose.
Well, you know why? It's because it's not out yet. So
correct.
Their names haven't been carved into the zeitgeist yet. You know.
I do think the direction of them becoming babies.
It's a bold choice for
It
sure,
is.
especially
It's-
based on the rest of the show that I haven't seen.
I will say
it just
this
seems a little out of pocket, but
it
I'm
does.
here
It
for
sounds
it.
like somebody started writing this script within like an hour and then
Yeah.
came up to a time crunch.
It does feel like that. Well, who knows? Maybe that's just how it goes in Hollywood, you know?
Maybe. I to me though, it feels like somebody ran out of time and kind of phoned it in. But who's to say?
But like, if you think about it this way, when I was a kid, I thought that whenever there was like an episode of SpongeBob or like Friends or whatever on the TV, I thought they were doing it live. So maybe they're trying to get back to that. Maybe they're trying to get back to that sort of childish wonder and
like
writing
urgency.
it pretty much live. For the
that
show.
Rules. Yeah, you thought
Yeah.
that SpongeBob was like real actors?
I thought they animated it live every single
You thought
time,
they
and that's
animated it live.
that one. Think about it this way: I was like a little child. Like I didn't know how the world functioned at all. The concept of having stuff just like ready to go pre-recorded did not compute.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's not even a bit. Like a lot of the times I'll say some goofy, wacky shit in a specific tone, and it's like, oh, that's a joke. No, this isn't a joke. I genuinely thought that as a child.
Hell yeah. You know what? I long to have that wonder for the world again.
I do too. Yeah. I do think about that sometimes. Like where did the wonder go? Like you hit a certain age where like you don't want to be a child anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's baby stuff. Adulting. I want to be an adult. That's usually, like I said, middle school. I turned into a total piece of shit in middle school.
You can't turn
And
back.
it was my worst times. And now I'm just a broken adult.
Correct. Same.
So speaking of childlike wonder, you have a topic here that says all around baby. It's funny, I hope, in parentheses. I kind of want to hear about that one, if you don't mind.
Oh God, I have to explain this.
It's funny, I hope.
Preface, happy birthday, Austin. Today is my buddy Austin's birthday.
Austin, happy birthday.
This is something Austin said, and I want to dissect it because I want to justify how hard I laughed at it. And I worry that now that it's existed on its own outside of the context, that it may not be as funny, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So
we'll give it a go.
We were having a conversation in a Discord voice call, as one does. And
this is you and Austin?
yeah, me and Austin, I think
Okay.
I think a few other friends may have been there, but he
Cool.
and I were directly communicating with one another in this call.
Yeah.
And I had said something to the tune of "I've been all around, baby," because like I've traveled a lot and I've lived in a lot of places. I've lived in like 3 different continents. I've been around. I've done things. And he hits me with, "Is that like Mr. Worldwide? You're all around, baby."
I'm the all around baby. I'm all around, and I'm an infant child.
All around, baby.
That's pretty good.
It's
Do you think-
pretty fucking funny. What
I'm
the
the
fuck does
all-around
all
baby.
around baby's music sound like? Because if it's akin to Mr. Worldwide being Mr. Pitbull, the esteemed pop rap act.
What's all around baby's dog name? Because Pitbull's Pitbull, but he's
Oh.
also Mr. Worldwide.
All around.
Do you think this is just young? Do you think this is like young Sheldon, but for Pitbull?
You think that Pitbull was all around baby?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my
we haven't
God.
considered that. Yeah.
Wait a second. You are opening.
He grew up. He went from all around baby to gets around child. Sorry, rides his bike up and down the neighborhood child.
Yeah.
And then he went obviously to just learned how to drive teen.
And then became like hometown hero after
Hometown
that.
hero. Hometown
for sure.
hoagie right after that, just for a
Hometown
year.
Hoagie.
A year or two. And then after that, he grew the hell up and became Mr. Worldwide. And now
That's
he's as wide as the
it's
planet.
beautiful that you were able to, of course, again, hearkening back to our in-depth journalistic skills, sometimes it's just intrinsic. Sometimes we just know what this story is without having to do any research, and there's no way that ends badly.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that you had that feeling of, oh, actually, All Around Baby has been here the entire time.
Yeah. Counterintuitive to the name.
All Around
Baby actually doesn't get around that much.
All Around Baby isn't actually around or a baby anymore. It's just Mr. Worldwide.
It's actually a bald, grown-ass man that lives in California, I assume.
You know what? He started out bald as a baby, as bald as Mr. Worldwide. It's full circle.
Back to whence you came.
It all came around, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I can't believe that you pivoted so well on that one, because there was a second where I kind of was staring at it in the doc, and I'm like, you're going to put me on the spot about this one, and I'm not going to know where to go with it. That's crazy.
I do thoroughly enjoy the phrase "all around baby," but because you have to say it in a very particular way.
It's where you
it's
put
all
the
around,
inflection. Yep.
Yeah, it's all around baby. It's not all around. Hold on, it's all around baby, which means that you're a baby that's all around, but it's definitely not all around baby, which means that you're just a baby all around.
Oh, I hear it. And it's also not all around baby, because they're not all around
baby
babies.
That's surrounding you. Yeah.
And it's also not all around baby. It's not just a mass of infants that have coagulated together into the ultimate round baby.
It's just a perfectly spiritual baby.
All the babies in the world have congealed into this fucking enigma.
It's the theoretical, like, perfect baby where it's a sphere in a vacuum.
It's a biblically accurate baby.
It's a biblically accurate
baby. Oh shit, that sucks, dude. Holy hell, how did we get this much out of that one fucking sentence? There's no goddamn way. Oh,
I'll be honest,
shit.
I didn't expect that at all from this. I thought that you were going to refer to something else.
Listen.
Yeah.
We gotta ride the bit sometimes and see where it lands. That one had legs that we did not know, and I'm so
really
grateful.
Short, stubby, kind of fat legs like a baby, but it's waddled its way there for sure.
It crawled so we could walk, so we could run.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time, buddy, man?
We're 55 minutes in. I think we could get one or two topics in.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of stuff we'll have to cut during the reading.
What are you talking about?
I think the extended laughter and silence.
I was so composed.
Yeah, we both really held it together on that one.
We really did. I gotta stop thinking about it because I get so emotional when I think of that ending. It was so raw and powerful.
It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful scene.
It really was. On that note, I do think there is something I do want to talk with you about. It's actually a topic that you have on here.
It's one of my topics.
Yeah, I want to know what you think on elevator small talk, because I have strong opinions on this, and I want to hear yours first.
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. We need to, after this, because you said strong opinions, it made me think about Sonic last week. And I did try to Jack in the Box, so we'll circle back. We'll circle back on that one.
Okay. So we'll capstone the last topic here with Sonic talk. Perfect. Okay.
With my Jork in the Box talk. So elevator. So I live in an apartment. I only live on the second floor, with the car's in the basement. Sometimes I'm carrying heavy shit, or like groceries, whatever. So I take the elevator, or sometimes it's a bunch of suitcases. And most of the time, when I go into the elevator, it's empty and it's great. And usually smells kind of weird, but in a different way each time.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. But every time I have gotten into an elevator with someone, it's either myself, or if I don't feel it, somebody else has this unstoppable urge and almost an obligation to say something, because we're both in the elevator and it's a small confined space. And we're in there for at least 30 seconds and you can't see outside. And I don't know what it is about that set of sort of like circumstances, but it really kind of forces people to say anything. And so most of the time, if it's something, I generally don't initiate the conversation because I hate it and I don't want to deal with it. So I just pretend that I'm just so distracted and engulfed by my phone that I don't want to say anything. But every time it's somebody saying something about generally something that I'm holding. So if I like am holding my motorcycle jacket, oh, this is my favorite one. Great day to ride. And I was like, excuse me? And they're like, good day to ride today. And in my brain, I'm like, you don't ride motorcycles. You're just saying that because I have a motorcycle helmet. That one's always a bit tough.
Yeah.
Or like, it's the same kind of shit that you get at like from water cooler talk, where it's just like, oh, weather today, huh?
Yeah, it's just meaningless filler conversation. I totally understand.
Hot one out there, folks.
Hot one out there,
like,
folks.
yeah.
Drink plenty of water. Yeah, absolutely.
Drink plenty of water. That kind of got me into, I hate small talk. I think most people hate small talk because I think most people genuinely, if they're going to have a conversation, if they're going to put that effort in, would like to have a meaningful conversation and not just like a literal waste of air. And that got me thinking, what's the smallest talk? How small can we talk?
Ooh. So
this can be taken a couple ways. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I do want to say, prefacing all of that, I am a small talker when it comes to elevators. I am your worst enemy. And
You're my worst
you
nightmare.
and I have only ridden elevators together at conventions, whereas we're already talking to one another.
Yeah. We're usually talking to each other, but you're the one that's like, elevator con, huh? Like you are the one that initiates the little conversation. But I think when we're together, we're funny enough that like we can get a chuckle out of the people in the elevator. Like we'll just make a quick little quip. But like, God, you're the worst kind of person.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I understand that what I do puts people in unfavorable social circumstances, and I acknowledge that. It's a fault that I have, forcing people to engage in social activity with me. But I have a solution if you're willing to hear me out. And then after the solution, I definitely want to talk about what is the smallest talk. But I actually think that these can kind of be one and the same.
Yeah, well, can I first propose my solution that I've employed?
Of course. Go right ahead.
And I actually have this as a note. And it's, I try to close the elevator before anyone else can get on it, which is generally like not a big deal. Because again, it's like, it's just me on the elevator. So I don't have to do this that often. It's uncomfortable when they can see I'm in the elevator and I go to hit the closed door button and then they do that thing where they jam their arm into the elevator door. And then I have to stand there and pretend like I didn't just push the closed door button, except on our elevator in the apartment I live in, the button lights up when you push it. It's an orange light and all of the other lights are
you?
Yeah, all of the other lights are white. So like if I do this and I fumble it and they're just too fast for me, they will see that, oh yeah, this guy just pushed the closed door button and I have to get up to like the 5th floor. What an asshole.
Okay,
so that's kind of the
script.
The strategy.
Flip the script,
Yeah.
reverse it. And if they make it in, you have to just be so incredulous to them before they even have a chance to be accusatory to you. You just give them this look of, you saw me pressing the close elevator door button. How dare you try to get in?
What if I make it like they just massively inconvenienced me? I was like, oh, I gotta get to my floor.
Exactly.
It would take any extra time. Because generally people live above me that use the elevator.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Would you say you live in a decent apartment? Do you live in a nice apartment? How would you?
It's a new build. It's fairly nice.
Okay. Then this may work. So I take it you probably don't have bellhops. You probably don't have the luxury of that at your apartment complex.
No, unfortunately I don't live my first class life day to day.
Yeah, that would be sick. So here's what you can do. Buy a bellhop uniform off of Amazon, okay?
Okay, yeah.
You buy the bellhop uniform and you wear it. You keep it in your car. So if you need to go up, you can just put the bellhop uniform on when you're in the basement or the garage or wherever you're parking.
Yeah.
and you get in there and you stand directly next to the panel with all the buttons on it, and you go up ideally alone, but if somebody else comes to get on, you say, sorry, elevator's out of service, and then you close the door and you write it up.
What if, okay, so this is actually interesting because a lot of the time, if I initiate any conversation and somebody getting on the elevator and I couldn't close the door in time, it's, what floor are you going to?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then it's just a little courtesy thing that everyone in the building does. And then they push the button for you. So if I dress like a bellhop, what if I dress like a Secret Service sort of guy?
Oh.
And I stand right at the door. So when it opens, I'm like, sorry, private elevator ride right now.
Make sure you're wearing a bulky watch and an earpiece when you're doing
bulky
that.
watch, earpiece, sunglasses,
Yep.
Suit,
Yep,
tie,
absolutely.
gun. That would be, I think that could work.
Do you have neighbors and or people in your apartment complex that you know and trust?
No.
I knew the answer was no, and I asked anyway.
I do have some neighbors that are very strange. That talk to me a lot. And I don't, it's not that I dislike them, it's that I don't want to interact with them.
That's totally fair. I think you need to form an alliance with a few people in the apartment complex, the ones that you can most vibe with. And then you get them in on your Secret Service plan. You all have to commit to that bit. Then it's believable.
Yeah. So are you saying have a bunch of Secret Service personnel? Do you think we need a VIP in the elevator too? So if someone does like look around the little corner, they see like there's maybe a pit bull type just standing in the corner with surrounded by a bunch of us dressed up. Do you think that's critical?
I have another idea real quick. I think that's doable, but I want to like take that a step further, if you will. So this is going to require, this is going to require a lot of space, but I think you can make it happen. So in the event, how would you make this work?
It's a great question. I have no idea. Because I don't know what you're talking to.
You need to be able to keep a bunch of cardboard cutouts on you.
Okay, yeah,
you
for sure.
Fill the elevator with cardboard cutouts.
Elevator's full.
Elevator's full, baby. You can't get in there. It's all around, baby. You can't get in. No one's getting out.
Sorry. Okay, what if we take that a step further and like I rig up this complex sort of string and rope and pulley system, sort of like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Okay.
And while I'm standing there, I'm kind of just like moving my arm around a little bit, and it looks like the people in the background are like, you know, doing maybe a little dance, doing a little shimmy, moving around a little bit, so it's more believable.
Yeah, can I take that one step further, actually?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You got my brain kind of going when you were talking about strings and pulling things. I think you get one massive rope. You keep it in the middle of the elevator, like strapped to the top, however you can keep it on there. You hold the rope frantically when the door opens and you say, I am the only thing keeping this fucking elevator from plummeting to the ground. Get help now. And just start screaming until they leave. And then you can just ride the elevator in peace. Because who's going to want to get on the elevator at that point? I think that is scary. Yeah, I think that's foolproof, and I don't see any circumstance in which you do that and it leads to anything bad happening.
I don't think anything bad could happen. I think that's some really good information. I think I will try.
I can't think of a single one of those ideas that you.
I like the cardboard cutout one a lot.
That one is funny.
I really do.
I want to do that at a con. We should do that.
Oh, we should actually do that at a con. We should. Here's the thing. I know you can get custom cardboard cutouts, but they're kind of expensive. But the cardboard cutouts you can get are generally of celebrities. So imagine an elevator pulls up and it's like, oh, is that? Is that Harry Styles? Is that Justin Bieber?
Oh my God, Mariah Carey?
Mariah Carey? Oh my goodness. Is that Shania Twain back there? Wow, you got the whole set.
Honestly, that rules. I'm so down to do that.
We're gonna have to do that at some point. Well, I think that'll be choice.
We should do
it at FWA where the elevators are terrible.
Oh,
so people really don't like us.
So I can get belligerently high and wait in a 30-minute elevator queue. That sounds like a really fun plan.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. Did you want to talk about Jork in the Box?
I really do.
Because I did go and try it.
Yeah, so I get a message yesterday on ye old messaging service, and it is just simply a photo of Dinghy saying, what did you say? You said, it's time. with a photo of Jack in the Box. I was very excited about this.
Yeah, I robbed the joint.
Proceeded to not say anything about it. Bless you for that. You have held your cards close to your chest. I know nothing of your opinion of what you purchased. Please inform me of how you felt about Jack in the Box.
Okay, so I need to start this out by saying, even though I asked for a receipt, because I wanted to have a little record of what I had ordered, because I kind of remember, like, I took pictures of the items. I just don't remember exactly what they were called. Even though I asked for a receipt, the guy behind the counter, very friendly, very helpful, he just looked at me and was like, "We can't do that." So, and what I think he meant is they were out of receipt paper, but the way it came out, it felt really desperate. Like, listen, we're being watched. We just can't go giving out receipt paper anymore.
No, that's real. I get it. Also, the reason I haven't been keeping our chat open to like quote things is because of the last picture or the last GIF that you sent. I cannot have that in my peripheral vision. Oh wow! Okay, so you took a lot of photos.
Right now, I'm just slamming Discord. This is mostly for me when I edit the YouTube version.
Oh yeah,
later.
For real.
I want to start out. I know I already started out, but I want to restart out by saying I drove in I was like a storm chaser when I was driving to Jack in the Box, because like we said last time, it was a 30-minute drive for me to get there. And so this most recent pictures I sent, that was me driving at probably some tornado-worthy weather. I know there was a tornado warning at one point.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was traveling in the same direction I was traveling in, though. So it's not like I was going to get caught up in this storm, but I did, for most of the drive, feel like a storm chaser, and it was some real Twister sort of situation. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right.
And it got me thinking, why don't I do this more often? And by do this more often, I meant to get out of the house. But so yeah, I drove to Jack in the Box. I was pretty stoked. They got a big sort of deal going on right now with some of your favorite Marvel heroes. They had like Deadpool all over the place. They had
wow.
Okay, I was going to call him Machete, but that's not right. Who's it, Logan? Who's
Wolverine?
The Wolverine? Wolverine.
Machete.
Machete's a little different, although it would be awesome if Machete did play Wolverine.
That
I would
be
definitely
so
go see
sick. That would be so
That'd go
sick.
crazy.
Anyway.
But anyway, so yeah, I roll into Jack in the Box at like around this time, actually an hour later, at like 4 p.m. People aren't off work yet, and it's not lunch anymore. Yeah. So I was the only person in the restaurant, aside from a few stragglers that go like through the drive-thru. Is that why this photo
is just you and an empty Jack in the Box?
Yeah, and it is fully empty. There was not a single other soul except for the 3 employees working there. So I went up, I ordered my food. This is the first time I've been to a Jack in the Box. And so I had to get the tacos, and they had a menu item just called 2 tacos.
Yeah.
And it was like $2 or whatever. Pretty good price, all things considered. I also got some chicken strips because I wanted some chicken strips. I think Wolverine was advertising those outside. I didn't take a picture of that.
You think that oh God, what's the actor's name?
Logan.
No, that's not the actor's name. That's the.
What if it was? Wolverine is a shoe brand.
I can't believe I can't remember. But
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. What if he was standing outside every Jack in the Box?
Just like in his Wolverine getup. He's got the blades and stuff. That's how they make the chicken strips, actually. He just slices a chicken and then it slices it into 3 perfect strips.
Incredible.
Anyway, so I got some chicken strips. And I also got a burger because you told me to get 2 things. You told me to get burger and a taco.
Yeah.
And I was expecting there to be quite a few items on the menu because you described to me last time it's like Sonic where they just sell everything for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect there to be as many items on the menu as there were. And I was kind of like, it was like options paralysis. So I just got the 2 tacos because it said right there, 2 tacos. They also have like burritos and shit like that. I just got the thing that said 2 tacos. I got a number 2 meal. I remember that one with curly fries. And then I got some chicken strips on the side. And I want to start, the first thing I ate was the tacos. I also grabbed some sauce
You did.
And actually, when the employee brought my food out, the only thing they said to me was, "Do you want extra salt?" And the only time I've ever gotten extra salt with anything is at Five Guys with the fries, because they don't do anything with the fries.
Did
just
you
about
order that you could have put extra salt on?
And see, that's the one that, if anything, the curly fries, but they're like, curly fries are inherently,
they're like
extremely
seasoned.
like
They're not
seasoned.
Yeah, they're not salted.
They're extremely seasoned, and I was like, I'm good. And then he was like, cool, there's sauces here, and it was two of those like fastener bins that you see at like Ace Hardware, the really colorful ones that you slide into the like wall thing.
Yeah.
And those were full of sauce packets, ketchup or taco sauce.
Hell yeah.
And so I took my seat in this completely empty Jack in the Box, and I pulled out the tacos first. They were buried underneath everything else. But I pulled them out, and I was a little shocked. Listen, I don't need it fancy, right? Like, I go to Taco Bell. I'm okay with getting abused at a restaurant by the employees. Yep. Like, that's totally my vibe. I was a little surprised when I saw the state of the tacos I was given, because they are the flattest thing I've ever seen. Like, generally when you get a hard shell taco, which these were, it's got a radius to it.
Some curve.
These would look like they were folded in half in a V shape. They were folded hot dog style, and they just filled it with some slop.
They were celebrating Fat Fuck Friday, baby.
I guess so, yeah. I have to say, they didn't taste horrible. The tortilla was weirdly bitter. But other than that, it just tasted like a shitty tortilla chip with some insides.
Yeah.
The meat was paste. It was wild.
It has no consistency.
No, it didn't have that. It didn't feel like ground beef. You didn't have like bits of meat. It was like a paste of meat.
It's like a slurry.
At first I thought it was just like some refried beans, but no, that was the meat.
Yep.
And so and the only thing that really threw me off on these was that it looked like the cheese was just one of the pieces of cheese from the hamburger.
You're correct. That's what it was.
That is what it is. Okay, yes. Great. Just seeing it threw me off. The flavor was fine. I don't think I'll ever get these ever again, but I didn't hate them.
Okay. What would you rate them on a 10-point scale?
On a 10-point scale, are we doing this like curve rules where like fives like
is
pretty
just
bad,
like the
or is this
most
5 just
normal
like
thing
pretty
you've
okay?
ever eaten in your life?
And 10's like
10 is
3-star Michelin.
You're moving
Michelin
into
star
a
sort of
Jack
situation.
In the Box, yeah.
Okay, I would give these a 3.
Real. I was gonna say 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like, I don't think I would go back and get them ever again, because the bitterness of the tortilla was off-putting.
It is not the most offensive fast food item in history.
If someone bought a shitload of these and were handing them out, I'd happily suck 2 or 3 of them down.
Yeah.
Then the next thing I had were the chicken strips, which I didn't take a picture of because honestly they weren't noteworthy. They were decent. Like, it's kind of hard to mess up a chicken strip. It's a fried piece of chicken, you know? Like, it's really, they were fine. I'd give those a 5, actually. I would,
just
if I had to go, if I stopped at a Jack
yeah.
in the Box again, I would probably buy those again because they were fine. Before I get into the burger, I do want to say that I felt like something was wrong with my brain, because I grabbed some ketchup and some taco sauce packets.
Yeah.
And what it says on the taco sauce packet is hot taco sauce. It's hot for taco. And I read that like 4 or 5 times being like, it's hot for taco. It's hot for taco. It's hot for taco. And so in my brain, I was like, oh, it's hot sauce for taco. It's not spicy. I don't know why it says it's hot for taco. Yep. The sauce is not spicy. The sauce is not temperature-wise hot. I don't know what it's hot. Is the sauce aroused for a taco? I don't know. But I did spend an unnerving amount of time reading that over and over again, being like, my brain is just dropping a word that needs to be in here.
Correct.
So let's get to the burger, which I'll be honest, compared to Sonic's burgers, this was pretty good. Compared to Sonic's burgers, which we've established are terrible.
Really?
The buns weren't dry as hell. I will say it wasn't the best burger I've ever had. And if I wanted to go and get some slop, I would just go to McDonald's and get like a McDouble or something.
Real.
I made a note of this specifically. Let me pull up my note here. It had a really familiar taste that was like kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. And it's the burger patties tasted like the frozen ones you get at a grocery store. Do you know the ones like where you're about to go camping? You're like, shoot, let's get some burgers to grill up tonight.
100%, yeah.
And you get that like log of
Just
the
the
like
really
frozen,
long, like
preformed
20 to 30 patties. Yeah.
They're super cheap, but they're like right there and they do the job. They tasted and like had the texture of exactly that.
Okay.
Like they were pretty, like the patties themselves were pretty dry, but like they tasted like that. They taste like you just threw some of those on the grill. So it wasn't the end of the world. It just wasn't amazing.
Okay.
This was the sauciest burger I've ever had. and like it was crazy because like again the patties felt pretty dry. All the like rest of the toppings were pretty much non-existent. Like you didn't really detect anything. All I could think about was like the mix of like I assume mustard, ketchup, and mayo that was dripping out of the burger as I was eating it. So that's like 90% of what I could taste. But I guess, you know, it could be worse. It could be a Sonic burger. So that's sort of my thoughts on that. And then the curly fries were okay. I don't know. There's this more local fast food chain in Colorado called Good Times. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they have probably some of the best curly fries from a fast food place. Arby's has better curly fries than Jack in the Box.
For real.
Anyway.
So let me ask you this. Now that you've had both Sonic and Jack in the Box, would you rather have your Sonic the Hedgehog, or are you going to be jorking it in the box from now on?
Considering that Jack in the Box is a 30-minute drive at the shortest, I'm just going to keep going to Sonic because it's literally on my way home.
Now let's take distance out of the equation. If it was an equal drive to both, which would you pick?
Gosh, and here's the problem. I did also try the Sonic chili dog, the chili coney.
Oh, that's true.
And fuck, is it good? Like, oh,
it's so bad.
I hate you for this because like last week I had 2 or 3 of them.
You and I
like,
are just
there's the one that I sent you a picture of.
There
was one that I sent you a picture of. Why do they look like that?
They look so bad.
They look so bad, and they come in that weird little bag thing. Did this send?
Oh yeah, that looks like fucking. It looks like baby diarrhea.
Yeah, and the first time I went, I didn't realize you could get a foot-long version.
Yeah.
So I went back the next day and was like, "Give me the foot-long." And so you'll see this in the YouTube version. I did a little trench run with my phone for this dog.
It kind of rules.
Disgusting dog.
It kind of rules.
They taste good in like a very nostalgic sort of bad food way.
Like if you go into it just wanting dog food.
Yeah, if you just want some real slop, like that's what this is. It's just slop. And sometimes you just want slop, you know? It's like sometimes I want to hurt my body, so I go to Taco Bell. And sometimes I just want some slop, so I'm just going to get one of these glizzies and suck it down.
That was a cool segment. I'm glad that you are expanding your fast food horizons and including some of the worst offerings in the field. So thank you for subjecting your body to that torture. We appreciate it. Your journalism truly knows no bounds. You have really.
I'm your field reporter, Dinghy.
You've been all over, baby.
Just like all over, baby.
On that note, we're running long and in the best way possible. This has been fun. This has been a great convo. I definitely want to throw it to some Is This Anythings. If you would like to. Do you want me to kick it off? Do you want to kick it off? It is what it is.
I can kick it off.
Yeah, sure.
Stop resisting. It's like Hot Ones, but instead of eating progressively hotter wings, you and your guests get pepper sprayed. Is that anything? It sounds like maybe that is something, but I do want to hear if you have one.
For the sake of my sanity, I'm gonna have to say it's not anything because oh Lord, that's a lot to unpack.
Well, here, do you want me to hit you with another one real quick?
Yeah, and I'll
You'll conjure.
I'll figure something out.
This one's an old one. Urnal. It's a urinal that's made out of an urn. Is that anything?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why did you say that's an old one?
Because that one's been on my list for a good while. The way I do these is I will have an is this anything idea, and it always starts with just the name, and then I just kind of figure out what the name means. And I think Ernal actually came from a typo. And I was like, that could be something. But yeah.
Okay, so weed, but instead of weed, sharks. Hey sharks,
Yeah.
It's weed.
Hey Shark. Hi, I'm Mark Cuban.
Hey Mark.
Keziah, please come to the front.
Yeah. Hey Shark.
You're too close. Step back. 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey Shark, I have today a product. It is weed, but for dogs. It's dog weed, and it makes dogs high. Is that anything?
It's like catnip, but it's dog weed.
It's dog weed.
I don't want to say that's anything, but I think we're gonna have to just call it there.
So what you're saying is you do think it's something, and you want to invest in my company, Mark Cuban.
What I'm saying as Mark Cuban is dogweed could be something, and we'll talk about it next week on
Hey guys, is this anything?
Is this anything?
All right, bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. That rules. That fucking rules.